Solutions today. LifetimeRadon.com.
Time for some fun in the Florida sun. Unless they close the roof on us.
And a drive out to left. This is high, deep, gone. Mark Canna.
The hunt for Brew October is presented by Network Health, Delta Dental, Annex Wealth Management, and Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank. With covers against the Marlins starting today at 2:35. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 7 o'clock, it's 68 degrees today. Definitely some clouds in the sky. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jack Grau. Auto workers in Milwaukee now part of the nationwide United Auto Workers strike. Local UAW 75 President Joseph New on the picket lines Friday.
Remember, the purpose you're striking for is equality in your contracts and for better wages and for the future and for this plant.
Around 100 workers walked off the job in Milwaukee on Friday, along with GM workers at the plant in Hudson, Wisconsin. The Haribo manufacturing plant in Pleasant Prairie is going to get a lot bigger.
Get ready for a lot more gummy bears.
They've been already started the work with us in phase 2, so we've done some progress on the schematic designs and the discussion and the vision about how we bring phase 2 into life.
Haribo of America CFO Wes Shaver speaking at a power breakfast hosted by the Milwaukee Business Journal. He says Haribo is working on filling 220 more jobs for the buildings that are already there.
We deeply rooted in Wisconsin now.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The planned expansion will make the factory over 2 million square feet. A semi-permanent traffic circle has been installed in the Sherman Park neighborhood near Grant Boulevard and Manakee Avenue in Milwaukee in an attempt to slow drivers down. Associate Transportation Planner for Milwaukee's Department of Public Works, Mary Sizemore, tells TMJ4 News.
So a traffic circle really helps break up kind of the vertical sight lines of the roadway. So rather than maybe looking like a racetrack, now we have something in the middle as you're approaching and you say, okay, I need to slow down.
The goal would be to replace this temporary version of the traffic circle constructed with road signs and a small barrier with a permanent one. A new public safety memorial right near Waukesha City Hall honors the lives of those who have died in the line of duty. That memorial unveiled at a dedication ceremony on Friday. Waukesha Police Lieutenant Kevin Rice.
On any given day, they can be called to sacrifice their lives in exchange for the safety of others. And so we owe it to these fallen heroes to remember their sacrifice and express to their surviving families that we are truly grateful for their service.
Etched in the concrete are the 5 names of the city's police and fire department members who made the ultimate sacrifice. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:03.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Hey Mom, hi Dad, this is Steve from Mr. Holland's Home Services. Now that the Munchkins and Rugrats are out of your hair and back in school, you can finally focus on the most important homework, as in the work that needs doing around your home, like changing that old dirty furnace filter, repairing or replacing that annoying drippy faucet, figuring out what's causing that slow drain in the bathroom, and adding a new light fixture to the living room. Need some help? The faculty at Mr. Holland's Home Services have studied the most effective ways to get your lights lighting, drains draining, and furnaces furnacing. We know most companies don't get 4.9 stars and 3,700 online reviews in plumbing, electric, and heating and air. But we do. So if your plumbing, electric, and heating and air isn't getting a passing grade, call the professional professors at Mr. Holland's Home Services. 866-992-1717. Or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Is your home ready for the final exam? We can help.
Russ bought his first home in Wisconsin with a mortgage from Accunet when today's college freshmen were still in diapers. A few Friday mornings ago, Russ emailed saying he and his wife were ready to buy their forever home. And by 4 o'clock, we were all on a conference call with their real estate agent talking about what it would take to write a winning offer in today's inventory-starved market. And then it happened. They met their dream home face-to-face Saturday afternoon and wrote an offer $15,000 over asking, accompanied by an Accunet property-specific pre-approval letter that guaranteed they could make good on on that offer without selling their existing home first and without requiring an appraisal. That's right, no appraisal required, which both the listing agent and seller loved. I can't promise your very first offer will be accepted like Russ and Julie's, but I will promise Accunet can help you and your agent craft the most attractive offer possible. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Get started with your rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at accunet.com.
WTMJ Sports Update. With a blowout win in Miami last night, the Brewers have guaranteed a place in the postseason. The Brew Crew scored 16-1 with Yelich scoring 2 home runs. Next game is today in Miami at 3:10. Tune into WTMJ for all your Brewers coverage. The Packers' home opener is tomorrow against the New Orleans Saints. Game starts at noon. Packers are currently 1-1. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. We are looking good on the roads. No slowdowns, no complications, no crashes yet. Across the Milwaukee traffic system, wherever you're going, shouldn't be too much of a headache to get there.
Traffic is sponsored by Import Minded on South 27th Street. Get back on the road today. Get your car healthy by bringing it to Import Minded on South 27th. For all your auto repair and service needs, it's Import Minded on South 27th Street.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. To this afternoon, a high of 74 by the lake and 78 degrees inland. A slight chance of showers farther in the west. This evening, a low of 60. On Sunday, a high of 71. Still that chance of showers later in the day. Monday, a high of 70. Still a chance of showers. Tuesday, very similar, high of 70, chance of showers. On Wednesday, a high of 70, partly sunny that day. Over in Madison, you got temperatures of 67 degrees. Green Bay at 65, Waukesha 65 degrees. Right here in Milwaukee, it is a cool 68 degrees. Breaking news, stories you care about, full show podcasts, and more. The place to go when you need to know. WTMJ.com and the WTMJ mobile app. I'm Jack Grouse, signing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time 7:07.
This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. There's no such thing as no maintenance when it comes to your home. That's why we bring you The Fix-It Show from 7 to 9 every Saturday. Get your questions ready for our expert home inspector, David Nason from Best Inspections. Here he is with his co-host, Dayton Kane. It's The Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Indeed it is. Good morning. It is already September 23rd, if you can believe that. My name is Dayton Kane. David Nason, the show sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dayton. Good morning, everybody.
So you weren't here last week, and I don't know if everybody realizes this, but Jack, our news guy here, was either dumb enough or brave enough to admit he's a Bears fan. I'm not sure which it is, but you're 0-2 now, buddy.
You're right.
We are 0-2 right now. It's definitely a tough start to the season, and with the resignation of Alan Williams, that makes it even more difficult. Some uncertain situations around that whole thing, but yeah, definitely a tough start. But it's the beginning of the season. We're 0-2. We're not 0-17
so are the Vikings.
yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I heard something last week. I don't remember the chances of a team starting the season 0-2 and getting to the playoffs is
something like 9. There's a 98% chance you're not going to the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. So we gotta worry about the Lions, I think.
Yeah. So
look pretty good.
Here's the thing. You called it. It's your fault you lost because the first game was against the Packers, and you said I would rather the Packers win now. And then the Bears win the second game when there's something at stake.
Exactly.
So you kind of cursed that game right off the bat.
If that means that, Justin Fields gets to go to Lambeau and tell them what for, and it's a beautiful game, I'll take it,
We'll see.
And we're going to the belly of the beast this weekend, going to Kansas City. That's going to be tough, but I'm very excited for that game.
I heard that Aaron Rodgers texted Jordan Love after the first game, said, "Thanks for keeping the ownership in place."
Yeah, whatever.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, I'm sure Aaron
I
Rodgers
say
is
that
texting
not
from his
meaning
hospital
it.
bed
I say
now.
that not meaning it, but good luck.
Right.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Jack. All right, so we have no guests on the show today. So the phone lines are wide open at 855-616-1620 on the Old National Bank Talking text line. Any questions you have, we'll try to answer them. As we were thinking about the show today, we were running through some things we do. I said we could talk about how to fix the healthcare system.
Right.
You said we don't have enough time to figure that out.
Right.
And we have 2 hours. We still don't have enough time to figure that out.
And I don't think we want to
we could try to figure out how to fix the slice on my drive. My golf game this week was terrible.
There's a lot of, if you go on Instagram, there's all kinds of videos on there about how to fix your drive. I don't know if they all work.
We talked about how to fix the best old-fashioned. A lot of people, it is old-fashioned day today.
Yeah.
So
I keep wanting to go to Ishnala. Apparently they make an amazing old-fashioned out there.
We'll have to make a road trip.
Yeah.
Go over and do that. See if we could fix my ADP app so I can actually get paid to do the show today. That would be a good one. But really, I think we should just tell stories about our college days.
Sure.
Is your wife listening? Because if my wife's listening, I can't tell those stories.
My family's still asleep.
Okay,
my
so
dad's
maybe
listening, I'm sure. So
he might chime in with some stories from your past. Huh? Remember when?
Actually, he probably remembers one. Yeah, my 21st birthday. Yeah, he remembers that. I was still living with him while I was in college. So
okay,
yeah, that was a good one.
My dad may remember me coming home to get some money to pay a fine or two that I needed to pay.
No, I didn't have any of that. I definitely had some. I was not driving that night. Let's put it that way.
All right. So Sheila in Milwaukee texted in. They have 11% chance of making playoffs at home to start. 0 or 3%. I don't even know what that says.
You don't even want to know what your chances are.
Oh, 0-3. I get it. So an 0-3 start, you don't want to know. Yeah. So people already chiming in on the Bears.
Oh, I'm sure. They're very fond of doing that. When I came home after the season opener, I got out of my car in Milwaukee and heard an expletive followed by the Bears when I was just walking down Farwell Avenue.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. All right. So I think what we've settled on is obviously we're going to take calls today and answer any questions we have. And we already have one on the phone from Scott in New Berlin that we're going to get to. But the other thing we want to do is stump David Nason. So if there are terms out there that you think David might not know that comes to housing and fixing things, call in with those or texting with those, and we'll see if he can answer those texts and calls on certain terms that are associated with building.
I'll tell people I don't think I know everything about a house or anything. I do know a lot.
You know a lot.
Spend a lot of time in construction, all that, and Tom Feza was a great mentor. So
So that's what we're going to do today. Stump David Nason, and we'll take your calls and texts. Scott New Berlin, hang on. We'll get to you next. It's a Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here from Wisconsin's Morning News, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast. We update it every day with every segment, every interview, and every bit we do on the show. Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
If my intelligence is artificial, then why am I smarter than you?
Absolutely boat race.
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
F you.
Subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast wherever you get your podcasts or listen live on WTMJ.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics are in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, and there have been thousands of patients that have received our pain relief treatment with zero out-of-pocket expense. Our FDA-approved treatments we'll use to remedy your pain are precisely guided to its root, to provide inflammation and cushioning relief to alleviate pain. What ends up happening is you begin on a pain maintenance plan, and how committed you want to be to alleviating your pain is up to you. But at the least, you can see us semi-annually to annually to, in many cases, significantly reduce pain in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Hey, Sandy Max of WTMJ here. I've been telling you all summer about my friends at 3 Pillars. They are Wisconsin's top-rated continuing care retirement community, and they're located in a gorgeous nature-filled spot in the village of Dousman, smack dab in the middle of Lake Country. Continuing care means every facet: independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, and rehab. That means whatever you need, 3 Pillars is the best. And you deserve the best in your retirement. Learn more at 3pillars.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik for Flanners Home Entertainment. How about improving watching the team in the games this season by pulling the trigger on an upgrade to your TV and audio system from Flanners Home Entertainment? In an age of impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases, there is still our locally owned Flanners, where quality, service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Shop Flanners in West Dallas, Grafton, and at Flanners.com. Flanners, sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
So there are some things all real estate agents do, and there are certain things some agents do. Most of us are full service. Some charge 6% commission for full service. We charge 3.9%. But one person's full service isn't exactly equal to the others. And it's important that you know there is a difference. You're going to want an agent who is reliable, responsive, that feels like they're working for you to live up to all the expectations you have when hiring a full-service agent. You'll find that at Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty. When it comes to getting the peak price for your home sale, it's all a matter of eyeballs. The more people we get your home listing in front of, the more opportunities arise. At Benefit Realty, we are ultra confident in promising you maximum exposure to your listing. We want to sell it fast and for as much as we can for you. That way, all sides win. And I have to believe that's why we've achieved the strong growth that we have. Maximum exposure means maximum home sale value. Benefit-realty.com.
The Fix-It Show with Dayton Kane and David Nason on WTMJ.
You can find the Fix-It Show podcast on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Dayton Kane.
David Nason.
Thanks for tuning in today. Let's go right to the phones. 855-616-1620 is the old National Bank talk and text line. You can try to stump David Nason if you've got a term you think he might not know, or you can ask a question, and that's what Scott is doing in New Berlin. Good morning, Scott. What's your question this morning?
Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking the call. My home is about 40 years old, and I've been up in the attic. The insulation seems sound. There's no mold, but it's clear after 40 years I could use some more blown-in insulation and ceiling. So I'm planning on doing that. But the contractor is seeking to convince me that I really need to put an attic fan in there to try to get air exchange throughout the year. And I'm wondering what your opinion is about the value of a solar attic fan in my home.
So you're talking about the fan that's on the roof,
correct?
That, and when you say solar, when it heats up, goes on and exhausts air out of your attic. So
my question would be, what do you have ventilation-wise currently?
Right,
do you have a ridge vent? Do you have static vents?
I've got 4 static vents. It's about 1,000 square feet for that attic space. 4 vents on top, and then I've got my soffits, and I'll put new baffles in there to make sure I've got airflow going through there.
So Dayton and I went to a seminar earlier this year, and I've gone to it like 3 times, put on by a company called AirVent, probably the largest manufacturer of attic ventilation, roof ventilation products in the country, and they preach 2 things. A balanced attic ventilation system, meaning a balanced amount of air coming in and a balanced air amount going out. And second, do not mix different types of ventilation on your roof. So if you have static vents, that's all you should have on your roof. If you have a ridge vent, that's all you should have on your roof. If you have those little squirrely things that you see on barns and things,
the turbine
vents, that's all you should have on your roof. If you have a power ventilator, like he's talking about, that's all you should have on your roof. And the reason is, especially with the power vents, when that turns on, it turns the other vents up high on your roof into intake vents because it will pull air in through there, and we don't want that. So
I would say if it's been working all this time, what you have to make sure is when he blows that insulation in, that the baffles are in place and they're properly still venting that attic.
And it's a little hard now, but during the summer, the attic, I believe the attic should be no more than 20 degrees hotter than the temperature. Is it outside?
Yes.
Yeah, outside. So you can put a thermostat in your attic. And even though it's really hot up there, if it's 85 degrees, 90 degrees, you go up in your attic and it's 100 degrees, that's fine. We just don't want it to be like 130 up there. So as Dayton said, as long as you're not seeing any signs of any condensation or other problems up there, I wouldn't change anything. I'm a big believer in houses that were built that have the static vents on them. When you replace your roof, put static vents back. All these roofers, nothing personal against them. It seems like everybody wants to put a ridge vent on your roof, which is fine. And if it's an aesthetic thing, you want it to look a little better, you don't want to see those vents, great, as long as that roofer is talking to you about increasing the ventilation in your soffits.
Or making sure you have enough soffit vents.
Right, doing that calculation to make sure.
Great. That's really helpful, guys. Thanks.
Hey, thanks
You're
for
welcome.
listening.
Thanks
Have
for
a
the
great
call.
weekend. 855-616-1620. Let's go to Mary in Fond du Lac. Good morning, Mary. What's your question?
Good morning. I have a house that's about 25 years old, and it has windows that have storms on them. The storms are falling apart. The windows are coming out of the aluminum frames. The still of the storm is wooden and it's rotting. Do I replace the whole window or do I just replace the storms?
Well, if the window itself and the frames are in good condition, and
Not the storm window, but
Dayton,
the actual window.
Yeah, Dayton sees windows every day too.
Right.
If that's fine, then you can just replace the storm, and you may want to switch to. Sounds like you have wood storms. You may want to switch to an aluminum storm. Then you don't have any painting or
They're
rotting.
kind of aluminum.
I'm sorry.
They're aluminum with a wood base, which made no sense to me.
Okay, a wood frame. Okay, I think I've seen those.
Coated with aluminum.
There's a couple companies that years ago, if their window, when they sold their windows, the single glazed window, their storm would have wood around it, but the inside was all aluminum. But yeah, you don't need to replace your windows. It might be time to do that, but it's also possible to just replace your storms. You're up in the Fond du Lac area. I'm not sure about anybody up there. Around here, I would suggest people go to Lisbon Storm Screen and Door, but
yeah, I don't know about up that way.
They might go. They're a pretty big company around here. They might go service the Fond du Lac area.
Yeah. But yeah, if your windows are okay and you like your storms, you can get new storms put on if the inside actual window is fine.
Right.
Okay, then I have one more question.
Sure.
I've had two different contractors out here, and they both tell me my windows are construction grade. What does that mean?
So construction grade generally, when in construction, is something that it's not a that's a better way of saying you have stuff that's good, better, and best. This is in the good category. Right. It's good enough to be used in the construction of the home, but it's not a window product that has any real bells and whistles, kind of any custom features or added features to it. So it's the type that if a builder's building a house and they don't have a buyer, they're probably going to pick the product that doesn't cost them as much. And that's really what it comes down to, is the cost of the product. So, and there's always a better product out there. So that's kind of what they mean by construction grade.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so very much.
Yeah,
You're
thanks for
welcome.
listening,
Thanks
Mary.
for calling.
Have a great weekend. 855-616-1620. We're going to take a break. We have some text to get to. I see a term in here we're going to try to stump you with as well. It is the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Hi, I'm Randy Miller, owner of All Right Home and Remodeling and current president of the Milwaukee chapter of NARI, the National Association of Remodeling Industry. Those who know me know I'm committed to building a better remodeling experience for homeowners and a better industry for those who work in the trades. If you're a home improvement contractor looking to build your skills and your business, I invite you to reach out to me and learn more about NARI. Email me at randy@allrite remodeling.com.
Hey, Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. My house is more than 20 years old, and eventually I'm going to need a new roof, but maybe I can wait a bit on that. Maybe I can get a tune-up. That's what Tri-County Contracting does. It's a worry-free roof tune-up. It's your chance to have someone up on your roof to take a look and perhaps even make some fixes if necessary. Look them up, TriCountyContractingWI.com, or call 262-217-8150. Tri-County Contracting.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 11 to 13.7 ounce or 12 count selected varieties Kellogg's Club Crackers or Pop-Tarts, 2 for $7. 2-liter bottles selected varieties Super Chill Soda, 4 for $5. 64 ounce bottles selected varieties Old Orchard Juice, 2 for $4. 6 count selected varieties Outshine Bars, $3.99.
Let's see. Spices. Cardamom. Hibiscus powder. It's like looking at Green Bay's roster right now. I don't recognize it, but I'll learn to love it.
Attention Century shoppers. You're going to love this opportunity. Win 2 tickets to see Green Bay play Kansas City on December 3rd, autographed Packers footballs, or 4 packs of Hall of Fame tickets.
I'd love to see Green Bay's new QB in action and win those tickets. What do I do?
Find the weekly code on Century's Facebook or Instagram and enter to win.
Love it. Getting the Century code on Insta right now.
Ends November 14th.
Deliciousness from scratch. That's the packing house. Service you can't match. That's the packing house. From stuffed filet to ribs and fish, classic cocktails if you wish. All deliciousness from scratch. That's the packing house.
Deliciousness from scratch. That's the packing house. That's the packing house.
From stuffed filet to ribs and fish, have a classic cocktail if you wish. All deliciousness from scratch. That's the packing house. Deliciousness from scratch. That's the packing house.
Facebook, Instagram, stay in touch.
WTMJ's The Fix-It Show with David Nason and Dayton Kane.
The 13th annual Open Doors Milwaukee going on, 130 locations to visit today. If you've never done it, it's free to do, and it's
cool.
Awesome. You can see some really cool buildings you normally don't have access to.
Right.
I'm kind of bummed my granddaughter's turning 2 this weekend, and we're doing a big birthday party at our house today. So after the show, I'm going to set that up, and then we got the party, and so I can't hit this because it's one of my favorite things that happens in Milwaukee.
It is really cool. We've done it too, but I'm going to Louis' Last Blast Regatta, so anybody who's in the Milwaukee area who's a sailor, we know it's the last regatta of the year. It's a fundraiser for Children's Hospital, so it's a great event. But
sounds fun.
Be a good
Got
time
a good day for it as long as the rain stays north like it looks like it's going.
We'll be down at South Shore Yacht Club later today. So.
All right, it is a Fix-It Show. The Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620. We do have a couple texts here. Let's see. Is it too late in the season to have vinyl siding washed? If water gets behind the siding, will it be time for it to dry before winter?
Absolutely time for it.
Water is getting behind your vinyl siding all the time.
Yeah.
It moves.
It has little drain holes if you look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, so vinyl siding is not considered a waterproof siding.
Right.
And this time of the year is generally the driest time of the year. In my opinion, the fall is September, October is like the best time to do your roof and do siding.
Yeah.
The crews love it because it's a little cooler. They're not boiling up on the roof or anything. We don't have as much rain. And so they can keep working. Painting, it's a great time to do painting as well. It's dry. So absolutely go ahead and clean. Do not power wash it. I don't know if they asked about that.
No, they said have it done. Yeah. Or so a professional may come in with a pressure washer, but they know what they're doing. Yeah, they've done it many times.
But if you're doing it yourself, hose pressure, your garden hose is enough. Maybe a little bit of detergent.
I got some algae that forms on one wall of my house, and I have to use a brush at the end of my hose. It's just a soft brush to help get that loose. I was going to say a soft bristle brush and some detergent. Either one of these things, Wet and Forget or Joe Max is helpful for that. Even Dawn dish soap works pretty well. Yep. All right, great question. We have another one here from Joey in Sussex. It says, my AC ain't working so good. I'm hopeful heat will work. Is it warm? If it's warm out, can I try my heater?
Absolutely. Yeah. I do home inspections all year, and the one thing I run in the furnace during every inspection, whether it's winter or summer or whatever, so I want to make sure the furnace is working. The one thing I can't run is the air conditioning every day of the year, so we're still running them now, but we'll get to a point here not too long, unfortunately, where when we start seeing temperatures cold at night and it doesn't get above 60 during the day, that's when we stop running air. If you talk to Jason from Capital Heating and Cooling, he'll tell you that they have ways that they can do it when it's cold, but they're trained to do that.
Right.
Home inspectors basically have a general rule. Once it's not getting above 60 degrees during the day, we stop testing.
And that's a good rule for every homeowner, too.
Right.
Because you don't want to run it and put it under that where it could freeze up and seize up on you.
Air conditioning is an exchange of heat. So if we don't have enough heat outside, it's really not going to work anyways. So, and always turn your breaker off to your air conditioner in the winter. 2 reasons. You don't want any little bit of charge out there creates a little heat that's going to attract the mice in there to make a nest. And secondly, you don't want to turn it on accidentally in the winter.
Joey also has a stump David Nason. Don't look at the text because he actually explains it in the text. So we'll get to that when we come back.
Okay.
We do need to take a break over to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Jack Grau. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning, guys. Thanks so much for throwing it over to the news. Milwaukee police are investigating 3 shootings that happened Friday afternoon. The first, the suspects approached in a vehicle on Sheridan Avenue and shot a 16-year-old. The second, a suspect battered a 23-year-old victim and then shot them on Fond du Lac Avenue. And in the third, a 44-year-old was shot on Center Street. MPD has identified no suspects in any of these 3 cases, and they're asking for information on all of them. University of Wisconsin-Madison has been ranked 35 among all public universities in the country by U.S. News & World Report. A school's rank is determined by the success of enrolling and graduating students' postgraduate success, according to the report. It's the highest ranking for the university in 15 years, and the 5th year in a row, UW-Madison has moved higher in the rankings. Flamingos were spotted at a Port Washington beach on Friday. And that's something that's never happened in Wisconsin. They were spotted at South Beach around 2:30 p.m. Experts say the flamingos attempted to escape Florida after Hurricane Idalia, a Category 4 hurricane formed in late August. It is expected that the flamingos will return to their habitats after the hurricanes drop. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Pretty much the same as when we hit traffic on the top of the hour. Nothing major across the Milwaukee traffic system this morning. Wherever you're driving to, shouldn't be too complicated to get there.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent.
SmartSpacesWI.com.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, a high of 74 by the lake and 78 degrees inland. This evening, a low of 60. Partly cloudy all day. On Sunday, a high of 71 with a chance of showers later into the afternoon that day. On Monday, starting the week off with a high of 70. A slight chance of showers still that day. Tuesday, very, very similar. A high of 70 with a chance of showers. And on Wednesday, it'll be partly sunny with a high of 70 degrees. Over in Waukesha, it's 65 degrees. Right here in Milwaukee, it's a nice 68 degrees. I'm Jack Grau, signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:32.
Russ bought his first home in Wisconsin with a mortgage from Accunet when today's college freshmen were still in diapers. A few Friday mornings ago, Russ emailed saying he and his wife were ready to buy their forever home. And by 4 o'clock, we were all on a conference call with a real estate agent talking about what it would take to write a winning offer in today's inventory-starved market. And then it happened. They met their dream home face-to-face Saturday afternoon and wrote an offer $15,000 over asking, accompanied by an Accunet property-specific pre-approval letter that guaranteed they could make good on that offer without selling their existing home first and without requiring an appraisal. That's right, no appraisal required, which both the listing agent and seller loved. I can't promise your very first offer will be accepted like Russ and Julie's, but I will promise Accunet can help you and your agent craft the most attractive offer possible. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Get started with your rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Home is where the heart is. Family meals, laughter, and warm memories. As your local contractor that's been around for 40 years, J&J Contractors has been helping families create new memories for generations to come by reimagining your kitchen space for baking holiday cookies with the family or opening up your lower level for friend and neighbor entertainment. Whatever the project is, J&J Contractors does it with top-of-the-line craftsmanship. Just Google J&J Contractors to see their reviews for impeccable work and outstanding communication.
Don't you just love the WTMJ Fix-It Show? Hi, this is Matt Elliott from Elliott's Ace Hardware. When you think Fix-It, first you think about Saturday mornings on WTMJ. Then you gotta be thinking Elliott's Ace Hardware. Where else can you find such great staff, big brands, and all the stuff, and I'm talking all the stuff, to get your Fix-It done? So enjoy the WTMJ Fix-It Show on Saturday morning, and then head to Elliott's Ace in Elm Grove, West Dallas, Pewaukee, and Muskego.
More of your questions next. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Get us those questions on the old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620. I want to say hi to Pam in New Berlin. Got to meet her yesterday. She says she listens to the show all the time, so thank you for that. Appreciate that. And let's go to Joey's second part of his text here, because he's trying to stump you here. So
I haven't been looking at my screen with the text.
We're doing Stump David Nason. If you have terms you think he may not know, his says ESP when it comes to HVAC. What does that stand for?
When you said ESP, I was thinking that's like
the perception.
What's the
Jason's talked about this before.
I was going to say, what's the saying? I can't think of it, but anyways, ESP.
So here's what he says. I'm going to tell you. He says HVAC sales guy came in, measured. Well, I won't say that part. Also, 3 other HVAC guys never mentioned it, so he'd be amazed if you do know what it is.
So I think it has something to do with the pressure in the ductwork.
Yeah.
And because that's how they size the system for the house.
Look at you. Yeah. You've been listening when Jason talks.
Yeah.
So external static pressure.
Right.
Yes,
static.
External static pressure.
So,
and it's the resistance in the duct system based on filters, grills, coils, ductwork, everything combined. And then they have that.
So it's got to basically be a balanced system on both sides of the on both sides, the returns and the supplies. So you don't have a higher pressure on one side or the other.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just reading the next text here. So
is it another?
No, we'll get to that one in a little bit. We do have another Stump David here. This one says the term brander. Do you know what a brander is?
Brander.
I had to look it up because I didn't know what it was.
Relating to a house?
Yes.
Brander. I'm reaching.
We're stumping you with this
brander.
one. It stumped me.
Give me a hint.
Another term for it is ceiling batten. Do you know what a ceiling batten is? No, we stumped David Nason.
Right. Hey, congratulations.
All right, it's a section of timber of set size used to support ceiling boards. So basically a rafter, it sounds like, right? No?
So I would
or is it more like a log cabin?
Yeah, I would have thought, I wonder if it's similar to a purlin. So when you have a metal building or maybe a timber frame building, you have the large structural trusses, and then the pieces that go in between horizontally, perpendicular to the trusses or the main frame, those are also called purlins. And then you have your joists where your rafters will sit on top of those. So I wonder if a brander might be similar to a purlin.
Same thing, maybe. I don't know. That was a new one for me.
It's not your typical residential construction type, but...
By the way, if you're ever in your garage or your house and you have these rafters and these beams supporting your roof, don't cut them.
Don't cut them.
Don't. They'll make your roof collapse.
Yeah.
Literally, I've seen it happen on people.
Collar ties, and you shouldn't overload them either. You shouldn't put a whole bunch of stuff up in your attic. And those are they're in tension. They're being pulled from end to end.
Yeah.
Because as you're saying, your roof will collapse. A pitched roof, gravity wants to pull the peak of that roof down, and which would push the walls out, and so that collar tie runs from side to side to keep that roof from collapsing.
Yeah.
So if you cut them, if you take a little notch out of it, they're not structural, but you really should. I see a lot of times people cut them to put their garage door opener in.
That's what I've seen.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the whole roof sags, and and like you said, the walls on the X-side start bowing out. It is crazy to see.
Yes.
Don't ever cut those all the way through. Like you said, if you have to notch it for something, that's one thing. But
you know what? If you can't put a joist back, and sometimes you try to find today, back when a lot of garages were built like that, but try to find a 22-foot 2x6 today that's straight in the at the hardware or lumber yard. You can't. But what you could do is put a cable across sometimes you'll see where they'll actually put a cable. They tighten things up. They put in, they cinch a cable because all you need is something to hold it in tension. It's not it doesn't have any structural vertical, from weight from pushing down on it. It's just pull in tension from side to side. So
I might want to do that in my garage, that cable, because I do have some stuff up in my rafters.
Yeah.
I actually have a staircase that my house was built in 1940. They used attics and garage.
Sure.
All that was storage back in the day, right? That's what they did. People had closets up in their attics,
Doing an inspection nowadays, I'm looking up in the attic. Oh, can I look up there? I want to see how much storage space. I was like, this is not an attic to store stuff in. And people are sometimes a little disappointed. I can't put anything up there? No, you really shouldn't.
In a ranch home, very seldom should you be putting anything up in your attic. Now, there's back in the day in Milwaukee, like the 3 stories with the huge attic that actually has a staircase built up to that's an attic that you store stuff in.
But even ranches, a lot of ranches had that pull-down stair in the hallway, and they thought, but that's what you're right. That's what they did. They had very little insulation up there until the 70s when we had our energy crisis, and President Carter told us all to turn the thermostat down and put on a sweater. And from that point on, we started really insulating our attics.
Oh, but did we look good in those turtlenecks?
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, man, were we styling. Yeah. All right, 855-616-1620, the old National Bank talking text line. We do have some more texts coming in. Get yours in as well as your questions. No guest today on the show, so we're wide open for anything. We'll talk to the 903 area code on this text next on WTMJ.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and you gotta love finding change in the junk drawer, or even better, a 20 in your laundry or pants pocket, right? But the best source of extra cash may be in the walls of your home. All right, wait. Now, put down the sledgehammer and tap into the value of your house by setting up a home equity line of credit and experience a state of tranquility, knowing funds are there when you need them. Get started at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Be proactive so you're not freezing at home this winter. Your walls are drafty. Retro Foam of Southeastern Wisconsin can fill your walls with foam insulation. It's all done from the exterior of your home without any hassle or mess. The entire process only takes a day, and Retro Foam of Southeast Wisconsin offers a lifetime warranty and property protection guarantee. Retro Foam of Southeastern Wisconsin takes pride in its customer service and efficiency. Get 20% off if you call by the end of September. Just search online, Retro Foam of Southeast Wisconsin.
As daylight hours decrease, crashes involving people driving and people biking or walking increase. Turn your lights on, slow down, and look around to help reduce nighttime crashes. Let's make sure everyone, no matter how they travel, gets home safe. Learn more at wisconsinbikefed.org.
Debbie Lozica here. I've been wanting to shade in my backyard for years, and now that dream is coming true thanks to my friends at Comfort Awnings located in Burlington. It's a local family-owned company that provides expert installation servicing southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. They came out to my house and walked me through the process, from different colors and fabrics, custom fit to my home's exterior and backyard. Right now, you can receive $250 off awnings and screens until the end of September. Call 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My house is beautiful. It's been transformed. My wife is happy. Wisconsin Granite Design has one-of-a-kind custom slabs to choose from. They've got it all. Granite, quartz, marble. One of the largest showrooms in the Midwest. 2 to 3 weeks. That's the process from beginning to end. They did the work in our house. It was easy. They were there on time. They cleaned up, and we've got the best-looking granite in the neighborhood. Almost 80 years of experience. It's Wisconsin Granite Design. WisconsinGraniteDesign.com. A locally owned, woman-owned business. Wisconsin Granite Design.
Need advice? Call 855-616-1620. Our expert home inspector is here to help. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Indeed, it is. Saturday, September 23rd, 7:44. We're going to hit a high of 74 near the lake today and 78 inland. You may see a shower. You may not.
Right.
Depends on where you are.
Hopefully not on the lake.
Hopefully not. Dayton and David here taking your calls at 855-616-1620. Let's go to George in West Bend. Good morning, George. Thanks for calling in. What's your question?
Good morning. I have a mold problem on concrete block. And you look on the internet, and one time it says vinegar and bleach will kill the mold. And then you read on again, and some say that vinegar and bleach will not kill the mold. Which is the best way to get mold off a concrete block?
So first of all, we did a little search here because I was fairly certain you shouldn't mix bleach and vinegar. Dayton looked it up. If you mix bleach and vinegar, an acid like vinegar with bleach, it creates a toxic gas.
Yeah, chlorine gas, which is dangerous.
Dangerous. So you don't want to be doing that. No, never mix bleach and vinegar. And then we were having a little bit of discussion here. So when you have mold or an organic growth, so the only way to know for sure, you have to take a sample and look under a microscope to determine if it's mold. So, but the likelihood is that it is. You need to clean that off the surface. So you need something that is a cleaner. Bleach is not a cleaner. Bleach is a disinfectant product. It kills things. It disinfects things. So back when I was in the restoration industry, when we would have water damage or something, we would clean things first. Believe it or not, we used Dawn dish soap like it was going out of style. But there are other products that you can clean with that help remove organic material. The reason Dawn dish soap works so well is that it falls into the category of a surfactant, and that's just a big word for it makes surfaces slippery. The old commercial, Dawn takes grease out of your way, on the plate. It made the plate slippery, and it washed the grease down the drain. So you need to use a soapy water mix, or vinegar and water can work as well, too, but not the bleach. Once you clean it, then you can disinfect it with the bleach. But be careful about the amount of bleach you use.
Okay, is this product called Watertight? Is that a good product to use on block? Is it as good as it sounds like it is?
Watertight. I'm not familiar with it. Is it a paint or a cleaning product?
Yes, it's a paint.
Okay. Oh, is that by UGL? Well, they make other products. So, if it's a paint product, you want to clean it. Go ahead.
What's a good paint to put on there to waterproof it then?
So the waterproofing would be the last step. You want to clean it, disinfect it, then let it dry, and then you can paint.
Kills?
Kills is not really meant. They might make a product for
block
concrete.
wall.
But UGL is the dry lock is probably the most well-known one. This product, Watertight, it may be. But again, whichever you're using it, because that product's going to try to seal the surface. Tom Feza said, and this applies to this too, clean, dry, and dull if you're ever painting. So you want to make sure it's clean, then it's dry, and then, if there's anything shiny. But in this case, that's probably not an issue. But clean and dry before you do any painting with any product.
Okay, real good.
All right. Thanks, George.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great
Thank
weekend. 855-616-1620. Let's go to Jerry in Muskego. Good morning, Jerry. What's your question?
I built a house back in 2005, and when they built the house, in the bottom, there's a bottom of the house, they put styrofoam type stuff there, and they never put anything over that. Now it's crumbling. It looks terrible. I want to know, is there something I can do to make it look more aesthetic with the house or make it even better? Because it's starting to crumble and it just does not look very good.
So that the foundation insulation, probably right about the time your house was built is when the requirement was that you have to insulate the entire foundation from right below the siding all the way down to the footing. They should have covered it because the styrofoam insulation gets deteriorated by the ultraviolet rays of the sun. So in most cases, the builder will put a vinyl kind of product over it or aluminum over it. The vinyl ends up cracking or your weed eater will destroy it. The aluminum gets dented and everything. In your case, since you kind of can't get it down below grade, you might consider using a product like a parging product. When I say parging, it's kind of like a mortar-based plaster product. Creative Construction down on the south side of Milwaukee does that kind of where they parge foundations and everything. They could probably do that. But also it sounds like, if you found the right product at a big box store or Ace Hardware, you might be able to do it yourself and just mix it up and trowel it on and try to get a nice pattern on it. Maybe you could do a little swirl pattern and try to make it as attractive as possible.
Okay, and what is the place that you said I could contact on the south side?
Yeah, Creative Construction of Wisconsin is the full name. Creative Construction of Wisconsin.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks,
You're
Jerry.
welcome.
Great question. 855-616-1620 is the number. Get your calls in. We do need to take a break. It is the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
A Brewers game and a Vienna beef hot dog. Ah, the perfect recipe.
Wow, this is really good.
The only thing to make it better? Winning tickets to the Brewers game with Ticket Tuesdays on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Every Tuesday at 3:35, it's Ticket Tuesdays, presented by Vienna Beef, the official hot dog of the Brewers. Better than all the rest.
With Rhino Shield ceramic coating, never paint your house again. Rhino Shield will keep 100% of the rain and 90% of the heat from penetrating your house. And it looks just like paint, but will last 5 times longer, and it's guaranteed for 25 years. Rhino Shield comes in any color. Get started today at rhinoshieldwis.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You're just going to have to live with it. That's what I told myself. And if you can believe it, that's what the doctors told me.
Since Andy was a boy, he had health issues, which later we would find were primarily due to his trouble breathing. So for 36 years, Andy lived with about 85% blockage in his nose. He had to breathe through his mouth, because when he tried to breathe through his nose, it felt like he was being suffocated. It affected his sleep, his work life, and his ability to play sports. And he wasn't going to let it ruin his life anymore. So he came to Advent. As bad as it was, his problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty and turbinate reduction. Procedures you won't find offered by big box healthcare. This is Dr. Madan Kandula. It's definitely possible that your nasal breathing problems have a simple solution too. You can hear Andy's story in his own words at adventknowsandy.com and begin on your path to breathing well and living better.
Results may vary.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. And by everything, we mean top products by your favorite brands. From Blackstone to Blue Buffalo, Carhartt to Cooper, Milwaukee to Muddy, Scott's to Science Diet, DeWalt, Levi's, Purina, Husqvarna, Goodyear, Rapala, Vortex, and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Ruger offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
There's a reason why we install Armstrong Air Pro Series systems.
When your reputation is on the line, you pick the brand you can trust. It's like our employees. You pick the best to preserve your good name. A guy like me that's been working on furnaces and AC systems for over half my life. I got an eye for the good stuff. And Armstrong Air Pro Series systems fit the bill. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you need a good crew installing a system you can rely on, see the man in the red van.
Quality heating, quality heating.
Emergency service 24/7. Quality Heating has 25 trucks ready to work around the clock to get out there quickly to solve your heating or AC problem. So when that system goes on the fritz and you want to avoid that sweaty summer heat or bypass the fear of frozen feet, the man in the red van can't be beat when it comes to prompt, reliable service. Call Quality Heating for any emergency HVAC need.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. David Nason and Dayton Kane. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
It is indeed sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction and Jack's bright purple shirt.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey,
I thought
it's
you were
one
a
of my
Bears fan,
favorites.
not a Vikings
Wearing
fan.
Vikings
I am
colors.
a Bears fan.
All
I don't know
right.
what you're talking about. It just so happens that it's a very comfortable shirt that I got on sale.
Okay.
So I got to get my money's worth.
All right.
But
Jack
thank
will be
you.
coming in here in about 6
Absolutely.
minutes with our news. We did get a text here on a conversation we were having before the break that says Insulcrete.
Yep.
So like insulation, Insulcrete. And if you look up that product, that might help you out on quoting those.
Somebody who's an entrepreneur or something. Why I've always wondered why these companies that make this foam foundation insulation that is required to be on the outside of the foundation, why don't they make a product that already has the coating on it?
Yeah. And then it's done.
Then you put it
And
on,
the sun
it's done.
can't
And,
get at
it's-
it.
Yeah, because I'm sure the contractors love putting that vinyl or aluminum on there, and then they get complaints about how it looks. So
Yeah. All right, let's get to the 903 we teased earlier. It says, good morning. Some contractors have said that my home early 50s build looks like a do-it-yourselfer. This photo shows the right materials may not have been used for the foundation near the back porch and garage. What type of professional should I use to correct this issue? Also wants to check a foundation under the shed, it says.
Right. You know, there's a picture along with the text, and it's showing some concrete or something exposed.
Almost looks like land and stone.
Yeah. You know, I was at a new construction house, and what this might be is what happened at this house. The concrete contractor poured the concrete stoop, and then either right next to it cleaned out the truck or just had a lot of extra and just poured this big blob of concrete right next to the stoop. Well, couple things. It's going to make it difficult to do any landscaping there, but also it's creating a situation where it's creating a funnel where water is just going right back to the house. So it kind of almost looks like just chunks of concrete under the ground. I don't think that's part of the foundation. So that's a little hard to tell. But if you're in the Milwaukee area and if you have a foundation issue, whether it's for your home, for the shed that he has, if he wants any evaluation, Accurate Basement Repair does free evaluations. Chris Mancuso talks about it when he's on the show, commercials and things like that. They do free evaluations. They, I think out of 10 inspections they do, they write an estimate on 40%.
Yeah, he's
only
at
4 out of 10.
40 to 50%. Yeah.
That most of the time they're there to help people and just advise them. You know what? You need to improve the grading here. You know, like the caller, George, he's just got some moisture coming through the wall. It's almost always a drainage issue.
Right.
Whether it's the grading that's sloped back to your house or a downspout that's disconnected or a downspout that's going underground that's failing and dumping water in the corners. So I would give Accurate, it doesn't say his name here. Is it Dennis from some earlier text? I think his name is Dennis. Thanks for texting in, Dennis. But Accurate Basement Repair could come out and take a look at
If
any of these.
they don't want to do it, once you explain your situation, I would also try Outdoor Living Unlimited because they do concrete work and decks and all that sort of stuff.
Definitely.
So that's another company, Outdoor Living Unlimited, that might be able to help you out with that as well. Another one here. Do we have time? No. We are going to take a break. We do have hour number 2 coming up. No guest next hour as well, so keep these texts and calls coming in. Stump David Nason. Get your term in that you're wondering, does David know this term when it comes to construction or housing? We'd like to know that as well. We'll check in with Jack Grau coming up next.
This has been The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Seth, the next ad should be about furnace beyondifications.
No, it's got to be same-day repairs 7 days a week.
A beyondification extends the life of your furnace.
Yes, of course.
And increases efficiency.
Which saves you money on energy bills. I get it.
I don't think you do.
But same-day repair helps people now whose systems are breaking down.
Beyondification save people from having a breakdown in the first place. What you gonna tell me? Oh, sorry, Merle.
You're right.
We shouldn't be arguing. I was saying people should get a furnace beyondification. Right, saves you money.
I thought same-day repair 7 days a week was better. Saves you time and frustration.
You're exactly right, Merle. You're a genius.
You're a great squirrel.
Get same-day repair or a furnace beyondification today.
Save money.
Save time and frustration.
Online at callcapitalcares.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. I've had chiropractic care on and off my entire adult life. I can tell you Dr. Alex and his team at Connect Chiropractic do it different. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. At Connect Chiropractic, they use a special tool for adjustments focused on restoring nerve and muscle function. It's not just making your neck and back feel better, although mine already do. Connect Chiropractic can help with headaches, sciatica, vertigo, and more. Schedule an appointment now at GoConnectChiro.com. Tell them Vinny sent you. GoConnectChiro.com.
Hey, Brian. I think it's time to get serious about new windows and front door for our home.
I agree. It will save us money in the long run to eliminate the draft.
I was thinking more about our curb appeal, but yes, the draft thing too.
J&J Contractors in Greendale have been around for 40 years and have great reviews.
Go give them a call.
J&J Contractors' skilled and certified team uses high-quality materials for all your exterior needs. J&J Contractors do it all. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, and gutters.
Time for some fun in the Florida sun. Unless they close the roof on us.
And a drive out to left. This is high, deep, gone. Mark Canna.
The hunt for Brew October is presented by Network Health, Delta Dental, Annex Wealth Management, and Wintrust, Wisconsin's Bank. With covers against the Marlins starting today at 2:35. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it is 68 degrees with some clouds in the sky. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jack Grau. Auto workers in Milwaukee now part of a nationwide strike of the United Auto Workers Union with picket lines at the local Stellantis plant. Tina Lake works at the Bayview plant. She tells TMJ4 News.
It's a huge deal, a very huge deal. We're not getting paid what a lot of people think we are, especially benefits-wise, insurance. That's all going to cease.
Dozens of distribution centers for General Motors and Stellantis, the parent company of Chrysler, have workers off the job. The Haribo Gummy Bear Factory in Pleasant Prairie is in for a major revamp.
The final design is a big H, and that's going to be the largest H on Earth.
Haribo of America CFO Wes Shaver says when that H is completed, the factory will cover 2 million square feet. Shaver speaking at a power breakfast hosted by the Milwaukee Business Journal. Shaver says Haribo is putting down roots in their unique location in Pleasant Prairie.
It's between Milwaukee and Chicago,
Sure.
A corridor. So we have long-term plans. They're in the works at this point of time.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
A semi-permanent traffic circle now installed in the Sherman Park neighborhood near Grant Boulevard and Meineke Avenue in Milwaukee in an attempt to combat speeding. Resident Emma Berg has been organizing as part of Milwaukee's Active Streets program. She tells TMJ4 News.
Residents want to be safe, but they also really care about their neighborhood and how it looks and feels, and so having something that looks a little bit like a construction zone isn't super ideal. So the dream would be permanent landscaping, something that feels welcoming and makes the neighborhood even more beautiful than it was before.
Berg says they're hoping to acquire funding to replace the temporary circle with a permanent one. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:03.
This report's sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
You're not going to use all that heat at once, so why pay for it all at once? I mean, you don't buy a sack of potatoes and eat them all in one sitting, or hoard toilet paper for one morning of relief. Okay, maybe these aren't the best examples. The point is, buying a brand new furnace doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing transaction. Purchase a fully warranted factory-fresh furnace from Mr. Holland's Home Services and enjoy 0% interest for 24 months. This means you can have your heat and afford it too. Face it, your old furnace is running way too hard and racking up unnecessarily high energy bills. But with a new high-efficiency furnace from Mr. Holland's, you may see a dip in those bills, plus interest-free payments for 2 whole years. That's no small potatoes or toilet paper. Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you're ready to pay for 24-hour comfort over 24 months, we can help.
Well, it's the longest running music gig in Milwaukee's history. It's been over 43 years now, and I guess you could say we love Jeff Stoll. He's here weekly playing a mean piano and singing all the kind of hits that you'd hope to hear at a genuine Wisconsin supper club. And at the Packing House, that's what we're committed to, being a genuine supper club, with hopes that people from all over southeastern Wisconsin and beyond make a point of visiting at least once. You'll hear great live music here every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday night. And for some people, a seat at the bar in our vintage lounge listening while having a couple of classic cocktails is just enough for a nice evening out. And for others, it's that, plus one of our award-winning steak entrees. But there's much more than steak on our expansive menu. With live music, a vintage lounge, classic cocktails, and a genuine supper club menu that runs the gamut, how can you go wrong? This is Chris Wyken, inviting you to enjoy deliciousness from scratch at the Packing House.
Deliciousness from scratch. That's the Packing House.
Across from the airport on Layton.
WTMJ's sports update. With a blowout win in Miami last night, the Brewers have guaranteed a place in the postseason. The Brew Crew scored 16-1 with Yelich scoring 2 home runs. Next game is today in Miami at 3:10. Tune in to WTMJ for all your Brewers coverage. The Packers' home opener is tomorrow against the New Orleans Saints. Game starts at noon. Packers are currently 1-1. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. I said it once, I'll say it again. Nothing major across the Milwaukee traffic system. This morning, looking pretty clear. Should be some easy driving.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, a high of 74 by the lake and 78 degrees inland. Becoming sunny farther into the afternoon with a chance of showers. This evening, a low of 60. On Sunday, a high of 71. Partly sunny that day with a slight chance of showers in the afternoon. Monday, partly sunny, a high of 70 still. And again, with that slight chance of showers. And Tuesday, around the same, high of 70 and a chance of showers. Wednesday, a high of 70 once again. No chance of showers yet, partly sunny. Right now, if you're over in Madison, you got temperatures of 66 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 66 degrees. Waukesha, you're feeling 65 degrees. Right here in Milwaukee, it is a cool 68 degrees. Every day brings a new news cycle, a new revelation, new angle, new talking points. Keep up with all of it at WTMJ.com and the WTMJ mobile app. I'm Jack Grau, signing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 8:07.
This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. There's no such thing as no maintenance when it comes to your home. That's why we bring you The Fix-It Show from 7 to 9 every Saturday. Get your questions ready for our expert home inspector, David Nason from Best Inspections. Here he is with his co-host, Dayton Kane. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Hour number 2, sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction. Dayton, Kane, and David here talking about whatever you want to talk about. No guests on the show today, so the lines are open, 855-616-1620.
We could talk about music, too, because Isaac, he's in a band. You're kind of a music band guy. I was driving home from an inspection in Madison during the week. Radio's on and everything, and Blinded by the Light by Manfred Mann's Earth Band. What the heck are they singing about? Dave, you ever looked up the lyrics for this song?
I have not. I've heard many discussions
Revved
on
up
it.
like a deuce, another runner in the night. But here's that's the chorus kind of thing.
That's when everybody questions what they're saying.
Here's the first verse. Madman drummers, bummers, Indians in the summer with a teenage diplomat, in the dumps with the mumps as the adolescent pumps his way into his hat, with a boulder on my shoulder, feeling kind of older. I tripped the merry-go-round. With this unpleasing sneezing and wheezing, the calliope crashed to the ground. What did I just say?
You said, I miss my youth, and now I'm feeling like I'm just living and I don't have any hope in front of me. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
You don't understand music, David?
No. And then some silicone sister with a manager mister told me I got what it takes. She said, I'll turn you on to something strong. Play the song with the funky break.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So now he's saying, I found my niche because I'm in a rock band and I'm going to be able to live the life that I've wanted to live.
I know about houses. You know about music.
Man.
Okay.
It's so easy.
And little Early Pearly came by in his curly whirly and asked me if I needed a ride. Wow. But anyways, the song
that's
rocks.
the agent who's going to take all his money from
the
him.
song rocks, and I'm driving down the freeway, windows open, cranking.
Yeah.
It was
a nice week this week.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to some actual text here. The Old National Bank talking text line, 855-616-1620. Some pictures in this one, which are hard to translate onto radio, but basically it's a corner of looks like a Victorian style home with like fancy woodwork on it. One corner's got like a round ball hanging off it, and the other one's missing that piece. And the gentleman asked, what do you call this? And where would I get one for the second picture? It's an old farmhouse. Dennis is texting in. I would call that a corbel, maybe?
Corbel, right?
Yeah,
Definitely.
corbel.
Cornice, corbel, something like that.
Yeah, cornice would be another.
Right. So Bliffert lumber generally has some pretty good, a good variety of millwork. That's really what we're seeing. What's missing? Well, you're showing one picture, and then the other picture. What's missing? It's like a 4x4, cut short with the ball hanging on the bottom. So it's really a matter of pieces. When you look at any trim on a Victorian house, whether it's crown molding, base moldings, door moldings, and everything, it's really a collection of multiple pieces put together.
Right.
It's rarely just all one piece. So they could probably find that at a Bliffert. I think this texter from previous text sounds like they're up in the Mequon area. If you needed something custom, they might not do something small, but there's a really good custom cabinetry company up there. Essmans on Mequon Road is a good company. There's a company in Milwaukee here called Acker Millwork that can literally make anything. Any kind of millwork, doors, windows, that kind of thing. So there are places here, but I would try like a Bliffert lumber first, where you should be able to find something stock rather than having to have somebody custom make something for you.
There you go. Old National Bank talking text line, 855-616-1620. Somebody trying to stump you here with a term, and I don't know, I had to look this one up too. Working on the lump. Do you know what that means?
Come on.
Working on the lump.
We should be talking about stuff like, I don't know, try to think.
Well, hey, if you would have brought tools in to talk about today, we wouldn't be having these.
Working on the lump.
Jack, any idea what working on the lump might mean?
No.
Man, this is not my area of expertise, and I am even more lost, let me tell you.
It sounds like when you come back from lunch and you got a lump in your stomach, you're working on, you got the lump in your stomach. So
I'd ask Isaac if he knew, but he's got a mask on. I don't know how muffled he'd sound. So working on the lump means receiving wages gross without any deductions coming out. So you're basically working on the schneid, getting paid cash, like working on the lump.
Okay, in my defense, that's not a construction term. That could relate to anything. You could be working in the, in a factory.
I just laughed when I saw it come through. I'm like, working on the lump. What does that mean?
That's not construction or home related. So good question, but
we
thank
are going
you.
to take a break. Plenty of time to get your calls and texts in. The Old National Bank Talk and Text line is 855-616-1620. Thanks for listening to the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
We're building something in Milwaukee, and this year is going to be one hell of a monster.
It's alive! This is
This is the Hunt for Brew October on WTMJ, presented by Network Health, Delta Dental, Annex Wealth Management, and Wintrust, Wisconsin's Bank.
Hey, Eric Bilstead with WTMJ. Do you know the type of roofing company that I trust? One that would gladly tell me that I don't really need to replace my roof. I just need a roof tune-up. Tri-County Contracting does that. Tri-County Contracting offers roof tune-ups that include roof inspection, refastening, replacing some missing shingles. Is it affordable? Yes. Trust Tri-County Contracting's roof tune-up. Trust 45 years in Wisconsin. Visit TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
We want to decrease your pain as fast as possible. When we inject our powerful, FDA-approved anti-inflammatory and cushioning medicine precisely guided to the root of your pain, in most cases, relief in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees is a reality. For those who go through our entire process, we can very much control and reduce your pain while increasing your quality of life. Thousands of Rejuvenex patients maintain their pain relief with semi-annual to annual treatments, proven to reduce inflammation, to make pain a lot more bearable. Some providers may charge up to $8,000 for similar treatments. At Rejuvenex, because we're in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, your out-of-pocket expense could be as low as $400 or less, or nothing at all. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, where you can find pain relief. Really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make outdoor living unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
With Rhino Shield ceramic coating, never paint your house again. Rhino Shield will keep 100% of the rain and 90% of the heat from penetrating your house. And it looks just like paint, but will last 5 times longer, and it's guaranteed for 25 years. Rhino Shield comes in any color. Get started today at rhinoshieldwis.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Get her done. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
That was awesome.
On demand. That is our producer Isaac coming up with the Man for Man.
Yes, and the texter said it. Yes, it was written by Bruce Springsteen, and he sang it first, but Man for Man, I think, made it famous. And
revved up like a deuce, people. That's what it says.
Revved up like a deuce.
Let's
Another
be clear
runner in the
that.
night, but still, no idea.
It is the Fix It Show, the Old National Bank Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. Another text here with a term they're trying to get you with called screed. Do you know what screed is?
So there's
I don't.
A screed. So if you have, there's probably a couple different ones. So if you have stone veneer at the bottom, you have a weep screed. It's something to allow moisture to drain. I think it has something to do with plastering. There's a screed to help you plaster.
That's a skim.
A skim, yeah. Bingo's probably, David, you should know this. So I know weep screed on.
I
but it has
looked
to
it
do
up.
with the moisture drainage.
This says a layer of sand cement that provides a smooth surface for underfloor heating to keep your feet nice and warm. But the screed underneath, like a paver patio, would be a screed probably
With
too.
drainage.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Well done, sir. Well done. So it is a Fix It show. We are taking your calls and texts today because no guests on the show. As far as what's going on in the world today, you wanted to talk a little bit about NARI because you got something coming up that you want. Or sorry, WAHI.
I'm involved in NARI too, but WAHI, the Wisconsin Association of Home Inspectors, we have coming up here soon. If anybody's interested in becoming a home inspector, and it's a great profession, I love doing it. The market's a little tough right now, but I think it's coming back. I'm busy. The Wisconsin Association of Home Inspectors is putting on what's called a pre-licensing home inspector training course. And wouldn't you know it, it's right here in Milwaukee this time.
Nice.
So November 6th through the 10th, right here in Milwaukee. And then right in conjunction with that, the Wisconsin Association of Home Inspectors puts on its what we call our education house and training seminar on Friday the 10th and the 11th right here in Brookfield. So we do that spring and fall. Our home inspectors, we have to have continuing education. Anybody who's licensed generally in Wisconsin has to have continuing education. Realtors, home inspectors, I think even lawyers have to have continuing education. Architects, contractors. So we do that. We put on a seminar for our inspectors. And if you have any questions, you can call me. I'm happy to. I'm the president of the organization right now. Otherwise, you can go to WAHI Group, WAHI Group.com. Right there on the front page is information about the course and our seminar, if you're interested.
All right. And do you go to that as the president?
Absolutely.
Are you there? So
I go to every one. And it's funny, interesting thing. So it's November 2023 is this coming up. 10 years ago is when I was introduced to Tom Feza at a fall WAHI seminar. I was not a member of WAHI at the time. It was in Oconomowoc. I live in Oconomowoc, and I thought, if I'm going to do this, I was doing it kind of part-time. If I'm going to do this right, I got to go to this seminar.
Sure.
And a good friend of mine, Dave Schultz, over at Kelman Restoration, introduced me to Tom Feza. Say, hey, you should talk to Tom.
And the rest is history.
And
what did you get him for your anniversuggestion?
Tom or Dave?
Tom.
Nothing yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think, yeah. That's a good suggestion. So
the old National Bank talking text line 855-616-1620. I had to look this term up that came through. I think it's more about for builders. So I don't know if you're going to know this one or not. Box crib. Box crib.
So what came to my mind first, and it's probably a little different way of saying it, is the box sill. And that's the space above the foundation wall between the floor joists.
Okay.
Where we insulate there. So I call it a box sill.
This is a construction term. I had to look it up. It's a temporary structure used to add support to reinforce a heavy object that you're trying to move during construction.
Sure. Yeah, if you would normally what you would see is like 6x6s or railroad ties stacked in like Lincoln logs, basically.
Yeah.
You stack that up. Usually when you're moving a house or something or supporting beams, they'll stack up the beams as a support structure.
Okay. Yep. There we go. We are going to take a break when we get back. Looks like the phone's ringing. The old National Bank talking text line is 855-616-1620. The Fix It Show is on WTMJ. Thanks for listening.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With shorter days in the forecast, brighten up now with top quality lighting and ceiling fans at unbeatable prices. At our award-winning showroom, you'll see our new display of Visual Comfort brand lighting along with their newest LED lights and ceiling fans. We carry every major brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturdays from 10 to 4. We're located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Russ bought his first home in Wisconsin with a mortgage from Accunet when today's college freshmen were still in diapers. A few Friday mornings ago, Russ emailed saying he and his wife were ready to buy their forever home. And by 4 o'clock, we were all on a conference call with their real estate agent talking about what it would take to write a winning offer in today's inventory-starved market. And then it happened. They met their dream home face-to-face Saturday afternoon and wrote an offer $15,000 over asking, accompanied by an Accunet property-specific pre-approval letter that guaranteed they could make good on that offer without selling their existing home first and without requiring an appraisal. That's right, no appraisal required, which both the listing agent and seller loved. I can't promise your very first offer will be accepted like Russ and Julie's, but I will promise Accunet can help you and your agent craft the most attractive offer possible. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Get started with your rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at accunet.com.
It's a city from a fairy tale on the Mediterranean Sea.
Netanya, the city of diamonds.
And in this city of diamonds lived a crazy genius named Moses Hadara.
Moses was a mathematician,
a diamond cutter,
and a bit of a theoretical physicist.
Albert Einstein devised a formula, E equals mc squared.
Albert's formula unleashed the power locked inside an atom.
Moses' formula unleashed the power locked inside a diamond.
Moses began with star facets,
kite facets,
upper girdle facets,
lower girdle facets,
and pavilion facets.
But then a voice told him to add 24 new facets, the Moses facets.
When he cut the final one,
Shazam!
Moses unleashed an explosion of light.
That dazzling diamond is known today as the Kessler 81.
See it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
At Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Advice you can use. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
8:24, going to have a chance of showers, slight chance, 74 near the lake, 78 inland. Perfect day to be outside in fall. I love it.
Oh, it's going to be gorgeous.
Dayton Kane, David Nason here, taking your calls and texts on the Old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Let's go to John in Greendale. Good morning, John. What's your question?
Hi, I got a question. I had some estimates for roofing on a couple houses I got in August, and I was going to decide in September to get it done. Unfortunately, I got hit by a drunk driver, and now I'm out of commission for 10 weeks.
Jeez.
So I was curious, what's the latest you could really put a roof on before winter? Probably just October, November, right?
Well, roofing can be done any time of the year. Dayton and I were actually talking a little bit off the air. You know, there are contractors who stop doing roofing in the winter, which that's okay. I get it. You can't really do it in below 10 degrees.
Yeah. If you're sitting at 30 degrees, you can still do a roof.
In my opinion, it really it's the roof itself, the roof deck. There's no issue with that. It would be the condition of the shingles. If your shingles got delivered, and then let's say you got November, we can get rain in November. We can get rain in December. Your shingles got delivered to your driver or something, and then we got rain, so they got really wet. And then right after that, it got really cold. So now your shingles, the bundles of shingles, become blocks of ice. That's going to make it difficult for the roofers to peel them apart and apply them. They might damage them, but being up on the roof is not a problem.
Yeah, because I've heard that you want to do it kind of in a warmer weather, so they stick down to each other. Or whatever.
I said earlier.
Once they're on the roof, the sun's going to heat them up enough to get them to stick together. That's not the problem.
Yeah,
that's not.
But I said earlier, I think my opinion, September and October are the perfect months to do a roof.
That's why, because I'm in rehab, and I like to meet the guys, and then I won't be able to get out in till November, so it's kind of late. How about gutters? They can do that with
same
the roof,
thing.
right?
Yeah, same thing. That's probably a little easier to do anything.
One more quick thing. Both the houses I wanted the roofs on have 3/4 inch boards for the decking, but then there's spaces between like a 1/4 inch. Now you have to redeck that with 7/16 OSB because otherwise the nails will go between boards.
Right. You really should. It's going to be in the specifications for the shingle manufacturer.
To hold the warranty, you need to.
Yeah, it'll say in there what the maximum space, but it would be best to deck it. Yeah.
Well, my question is, what the heck did they do when they first roofed it? They didn't deck over that. They just went right over the 3/4-inch boards with spaces. It's okay.
Yeah. Shingle manufacturer, as with any building material, shingle manufacturers' installation instructions have changed. And so now that's a requirement for them. Right. It's not a building code issue.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not saying you can't do it. It's saying you don't have the warranty upheld if they don't do it.
Yeah, I want to do it. I want to do it the right way. And then that adds about, $3 or $4 grand to the price, right?
It could. It does. I mean, if you have let's say you had a house that had cedar shakes on the roof, and the gaps between the boards when you have a cedar shakes are about like an inch and a half, it might be more cost effective to have them just put pieces of 1x boards in there if they fit, or they might have to rip them down. I've seen that where they have strips in rather than putting a deck on top.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Well, thanks. Oh, by the way, I did in May. I just had an Accurate Basement Repair do my foundation. A great company.
Yes.
I would endorse them totally. And then the salesman. Project manager John Kramer is the greatest guy you could ever work with from Accurate.
All right.
It's terrific.
What's John sending you in the mail for that endorsement?
And also one more tip: anybody that gets basement problems at all, get a structural engineer first to give you the real scoop on what has to be done.
That's not a bad idea. You can do it. There's a couple. If somebody needed an engineer, I could give you a couple names.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot for your time.
All right, John. Have a great weekend.
Calling.
Thanks for calling. 855-616-1620, the Old National Bank talk and text line. If you want to stump David Nason with a term, send that in on a text or give us a call. Also answering any questions that you have. We're going to jump over now to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Jack Grau. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning. Thanks so much, guys. The University of Wisconsin-Madison has been ranked number 35 among all public universities in the country by the U.S. News and World Report. A school's rank is determined by the success of enrolling and graduating students' postgraduate success. According to the report, it's the highest ranking for the university in 15 years, and the 5th year in a row, UW-Madison has moved higher in the rankings. Milwaukee police are investigating 3 shootings that happened Friday afternoon. The first, the suspect approached in a vehicle on Sheridan Avenue and shot a 16-year-old. The second, a suspect battered a 23-year-old victim, then shot them on Fond du Lac Avenue. And in the third, a 44-year-old was shot on Center Street. MPD has identified no suspects in any of the 3 cases, and they're asking for information on all of them. Flamingos were spotted at Port Washington Beach on Friday, and that's something that has never happened here in Wisconsin. They were spotted at South Beach around 2:30 p.m. Friday. Experts say the flamingos attempted to escape Florida after Hurricane Idalia, a Category 4 hurricane formed in late August. It is expected that the flamingos will return to their habitats after the temperatures drop. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic, pretty much the same. No major complications across the Milwaukee traffic system this morning wherever you're driving to, north, south, east, west. Hopefully not too far east. You might get a little bit of that lake. It's going to be a pretty easy drive to get there.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, a high of 74 by the lake and a few degrees warmer inland, and this evening a low of 60. On Sunday, a high of 71 with a slight chance of showers. Monday, starting off the week pretty similar with a high of 70 and still a chance of showers. Tuesday, a high of 70, a chance of showers and storms that day, mostly cloudy. And then on Wednesday, a high of 70 degrees, partly sunny. If you're over in Waukesha, you have temperatures of 65 degrees. Right here in Milwaukee, it is a nice 69. I'm Jack Grau, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:32.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and as a community bank, we sincerely appreciate our customer loyalty. Over nearly 90 years, we've done all we can to return the favor. Great Midwest Bank offers flexible solutions that bigger banks and credit unions simply can't, because our entire team is right here in the community. We love helping our neighbors when we're at work and then catching up over the weekend. Visit us at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My house is beautiful. It's been transformed. My wife is happy. Wisconsin Granite Design has one-of-a-kind custom slabs to choose from. They've got it all. Granite, quartz, marble. One of the largest showrooms in the Midwest. 2 to 3 weeks. That's the process from beginning to end. They did the work in our house. It was easy. They were there on time. They cleaned up, and we've got the best-looking granite in the neighborhood. Almost 80 years of experience. It's Wisconsin Granite Design. WisconsinGraniteDesign.com. A locally owned, woman-owned business. Wisconsin Granite Design.
Radio guy Emeritus Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Enjoy summer while it lasts, folks, because you know it's coming down the pike. Cold weather and high heating bills. It's not too soon to start thinking about new windows and doors from Hometown. They have options that fit every home, every style, and every budget, even yours. Their huge New Berlin showroom has the area's largest display of replacement windows, doors, and patio doors from national brands like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softline, and more. In wood, Fibrix, fiberglass, and vinyl, with scads of features including, wonder of wonders, blinds inside the glass. What's more, Hometown offers you dedicated project consultants with products installed by Hometown's own employee carpenters. Stop in today or call 414-329-1200 or go to hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Dayton and David. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us. It's 8:34 on a beautiful Saturday. 74 near the lake, 78 inland. As long as the rain holds off, we'll be good.
Yeah, too bad we don't have a window.
The sunset was, or sunrise, was beautiful. All kinds of colors going on.
Red sky in the morning. Sailor take warning.
Oh, and you're yachting today.
Right. Well, but it's usually not
Do you
like
guys
right
play
away.
yacht rock while you're out on the yacht?
I listen to yacht rock. That's why I don't know the bands that you guys talk about all the time. Because
funny.
Probably not on the boat.
That's why Man for Man was played earlier.
Right.
All right. Although you did just play Peter Gabriel. He's coming. I would love to go to that show. But the tickets are like $190 a piece. And that's like back at...
190?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Back, and that's like not good seats.
So what's a good seat cost?
$400 or $500. Yeah. All these concerts are getting out of my range.
That's why I don't go to.
I miss the free concerts I used to get as a radio guy. Anyway, let's keep talking here. The Old National Bank talking text line 855-616-1620. This one says the gauge is part of the radon mitigation system installed in our house by the previous owner. Instructions say that if both columns are at 0, call the installer for service. What is this gauge measuring, and why is it important?
Right. So anybody who has a radon mitigation system in their house, in their basement, there should be a pipe. And what he's talking about is a gauge. It's like a U-tube. They actually call it a U-tube, not the video.
Not the streaming service.
The letter U and then tube. And it's got a red or blue or sometimes green liquid. It's a like antifreeze, so it doesn't evaporate. And all that is measuring is pressure on the pipe system. It's not measuring how much radon is either in your house or being evacuated. It's just telling you that the fan that is pulling air out of that system is working. And they call it a something column, water column.
Okay.
So how much pressure and so it's measuring it. There's a little measuring thing on there. That's not so important. It's just that you don't want them level.
So when you get to 0, that means there's not enough pressure to get the radon out the tube.
Well, there's no pressure on it, essentially. So, then usually either the breaker or the circuit for the fan has been tripped. If it could be plugged into a GFCI receptacle, and that might be tripped. Or the fan itself is no longer working. Those fans they run 24/7.
Right.
And so they don't last forever. I just replaced mine this spring. And mine was installed in 2014. Mine's on the outside of my house, so it does get a lot more weather. Some people have their fan in their garage attic or in the attic of their house, so it's out of the weather. Might last a little longer, 10 years, 12 years. But yes, if they are level, call the installer. And if there's no name on it or something, I recommend Lifetime Radon Solutions. They're a partner here on TMJ. I also know the owner very well. And they installed my system. So Lifetime Radon in Delafield.
Great question. 855-616-1620. Is there a best way for a company to clean gutters, i.e. blowers, water, flush, hand? How do you do it? What's a recommended company? Joan asks that question.
Yeah, that's a do-it-yourself project, although if you're not able to get up on a ladder, or a lot of people don't like going on ladders, especially if you have a taller house, it's really a handyman project or a neighbor.
Sometimes you'll see signs just on the side of the road, like the little garage sale signs that say gutter cleaning.
Because is there a contractor out there that'll do it?
Just come do it?
No, not so much. A younger grandson or
I was just going to
son,
say a family
member. Unfortunately, that cleaning gutters is really a do-it-yourself.
But as far as the best way, just get up there and clean them out.
Before I put covers on mine, I always have a bucket and one of those little gardening shovels, and I just kind of scoop it out. If it's just leaves, you can use a leaf blower.
Yeah.
If it's
You're
dry.
Smart. A bucket. I just dump it on my ground.
No, I would have a bucket on a rope.
You're so much neater
I would
than
have a bucket on a rope, and when the bucket filled up, I would lower it to the ground. So then I can go down the ladder with both of my hands on the ladder, so I don't fall. Trying to carry the bucket and then fall.
Oh, dude, I carry my leaf blower up while I'm going up the ladder. I do all kinds of stuff I probably shouldn't be doing. Thanks for giving me these tips.
Sure.
I appreciate it. Good morning. I was on my roof yesterday and found lots of asphalt pebbles in my gutters. Well, those are copper pebbles. Maybe an 1/8 to a 1/4 inch in depth. Does this mean my shingles are wearing out and need to be replaced? They're 14 to 15 years old. Another good show to end with. Thank you for that.
Right. So the answer would be yes and no.
Yeah, right.
It does mean that the roof is wearing because over time the pebbles do wear off.
I have two questions as a guy who looks at roofs a lot. Yeah. One, when's the last time you checked?
Yes.
So are these 18 years of accumulation? Then I'm not too worried about it. Did you check in spring and now you're up there again and suddenly you have it? That could be hail damage.
Right.
That could be a hailstorm that came through, knocked a bunch of stuff off, and now it's in your gutters.
Absolutely.
I would have somebody check it out. A lot of people, including myself, do free inspections where we can come and say, hey, this is hail damage that knocked all this off of here.
I don't personally do just a roof inspection for the condition of the roof.
Yeah.
If it's part of a home inspection, I do look at the roof, but if somebody's looking for a hail damage inspection or something, I'll look at a roof if somebody thinks it wasn't installed correctly.
Sure.
So then I can look at the installation instructions and see if that, but hail damage and others. But 14, 15 years old, unless you do have hail damage, it should have, 10, 15 more years of life in it. Part of it depends on sun exposure or trees. Is there a lot of algae on it? Is it wearing? Do we have wind or hail damage?
My question is, did you have hail?
Yeah.
Was somebody up there walking on it to fix a chimney or something that would cause, the pebbles to come off?
And make sure you trim all the vegetation and trees away from your roof, because trees and vegetation that are up or near your roof, those are ladders. Believe it or not, a ladder for an
squirrels.
Animal. Yes, you keep the animals off your roof.
This time of year, I have a tree that just drops stuff all the time. It sounds like there's animals running across my roof all the time. I'm like, what's that? Oh, it's just another
squirrel.
It's another nut, a walnut, black walnut.
Right.
Thank you very much, neighbor. It's not even my tree. That's the terrible part about it. So we are going to take another break. 855-616-1620, the old National Bank talk and text line. I see a couple terms here, David. People are texting in. Don't look them up.
Look away.
No Googling.
Look away.
No Googling. It is the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Seth, the next ad should be about furnace beyondifications.
No, it's got to be same-day repairs 7 days a week.
A beyondification extends the life of your furnace.
Yes, of course.
And increases efficiency.
Which saves you money on energy bills. I get it.
I don't think you do.
But same-day repair helps people now whose systems are breaking down.
Beyondification save people from having a breakdown in the first place. What are you going to tell me? Oh, sorry, Merle.
You're right.
We shouldn't be arguing. I was saying people should get a furnace beyondification. Right, saves you money.
I thought same-day repair 7 days a week was better. Saves you time and frustration.
You're exactly right, Merle. You're a genius.
You're a great squirrel.
Get same-day repair or a furnace beyondification today.
Save money.
Save time and frustration.
Online at callcapitalcares.com.
When it comes to sharpening your investment and retirement strategy, the Annex Wealth Management Navigating the Markets presentation is a must. You're invited to join our senior leaders at any of 4 upcoming events. What are the headwinds for portfolios in excess of $1 million? Will the long-awaited recession actually happen? How does today's economy fit from a historical perspective? And most importantly, what can you do to calibrate your portfolio? Navigating the Markets is fast-paced, interactive, and packed with perspective from the Annex Investment Committee of experienced professionals, including PhDs, CFAs, and CFPs with the knowledge and skill to help with what's next. Navigating the Markets takes place in Mequon on September 26th, Madison, October 3rd, Brookfield, October 5th, and Appleton, October 10th. These premier events are complimentary and open to everyone. Complete details and sign up at annexwealth.com/events. Reserve your spots soon. Seats are limited. The American economy is at a critical juncture. Join us for Navigating the Markets from Annex Wealth Management.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. The best time to plan a funeral is when you don't have to. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Eric Brown and his crew from Siding Unlimited can fix whatever's wrong with the outside of your house. How do you know what's wrong with it? Well, look for these trouble signs. On your windows, paint peeling, wood rot or damage from condensation? How well do they operate? Got mold on the storm windows? Siding have any dents, holes, or chips, paint or color issues? Is the caulking cracked? How's the flashing? Roof look okay? How about your doors? Decks are another place for critical inspection. Maybe you'd just like to have a new one. Eric is a regular here on the Fix-It Show. You regular listeners are aware of his expertise. He's president of Siding Unlimited, but that's not a desk job. He's out there working with the crews, inspecting people's structure problems and fixing them. Siding Unlimited will fix yours too. Make a note to contact Siding Unlimited online at sidingunlimited.com or see Siding Unlimited's unique outside-in showroom near Gerke's Corners in Brookfield.
If it needs fixing, we can help. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Fix-It Show, sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction. Dayton Kane and David Nason here, taking your calls and texts at 855-616-1620. This term came in, manometer. Did I say that right?
Yeah, measures pressure. I've usually seen them on, like, measuring the head pressure on an engine.
Oh. Okay.
You know, like car guys use manometers on, gasket. Make sure the gaskets on your heads and valves are working. That's what I think of.
Yeah, how would that relate to a house?
Well, probably can be used on measuring the pressure. We talked about it, static pressure and ductwork in your HVAC system.
All right. Another text says, I'm starting construction on a new home in the near future and considering having an inspection during the process. Should I only have an inspection after the home is completed, or does it make sense to have inspections during different phases? If so, after what phases should I have it inspected?
So part
do
of it,
do this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So part of it might be, are you having some concerns or maybe trust issues with your builder? Depending on where you're building to, the municipality will be doing building, not depending. Your municipality should be, regardless of where you live, doing their building code inspections. I would be doing an inspection to consult you on the condition of the construction that's being done, the quality, maybe some things that need to be fixed. So to answer the question, I can do it just when we're done and before you move in and just look at the whole thing all as one. But I've also consulted for people where before they even start, I've done 3 inspections, or 4, I should say. No, I think it's 3. The foundation, once the foundation's poured, just to go look at it. I'm not an engineer, but just to put a level on the wall, just kind of get an idea of what the foundation looks like, if things are just out of whack. And then after rough framing, before any insulation or drywall goes up, to see all the rough framing and the mechanicals are in, just to point out some things that look a little off. Windows are usually in, the roof's on at that time, siding's on.
Before it all gets encapsulated.
Yeah, before things get covered up and closed in. And then when things are done in the finish. So it'd be 3.
And so is that a package you offer, like a new home build package?
Right. Yeah. And then I would invoice you after each one.
And how do people get in touch with you?
They can give me a call at 262-443-8958. my website is bestinspectionsllc.com.
All right.
Probably the best way. That my phone number's there, a form to fill out, information about me, articles from Tom.
Can see his beautiful face. You could see his face right now, actually, because we're streaming again live on WTMJ.com, by the way, if you haven't heard. All right, another one here says, we are remodeling a first-floor master bath. Would like to replace a large corner tub with a shower. Are systems available to replace it with a curbless tile shower?
So you can do that. It involves doing a little bit of manipulation with the floor. So you have floor joists that support the floor, and then you have a subfloor, and then usually an underlayment, and then sometimes, depending on what type of flooring, then you have your finished flooring. So in a room that you have, living room, you have carpet, you have a subfloor, usually like a 3/4 inch OSB or plywood, and then you'll have an underlayment, which would be 5/8 inch particle board, and then you have your carpet. Or you could also have luxury vinyl planking or linoleum or something like that. In the case of a hardwood floor, you just have the subfloor and then the 3/4 inch hardwood floor. That makes up the 1.25 inches of flooring, or inch, actually be 1.5 inches. In a bathroom, if you have a ceramic tile floor, so you're probably going to do a curbless shower, you're going to have you want at least 1.25 inches of subfloor material to support the weight of the tile. And so what your contractor could do is to recess the subfloor between the floor joists. So they put a little blocking on the side of the floor joist, put the pieces of plywood between the floor joists, so now that plywood is flush with the top of the floor, and then they could probably put in a layer of Durock material and then use a sand material, or it's actually like a concrete material, to pour the floor that would slope, and it would be best to have the drain probably as far away from the entrance to the shower as possible, like a trench drain along the wall or over on one side, so that the water drains towards that, rather than, you don't want it draining towards the entrance to where you walk into the shower. So it definitely can be done. Just the contractor really needs to know what they're doing, and then of course structurally you want to make sure that it's sound, so that once it's all done, the tile floor of the shower doesn't all start cracking. And because it's going to be sloped, you really need to use smaller tiles. You can't use big, large tiles because they can't follow the slope of the floor.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely can be done.
Okay. Matt from Hartford texted back in. It makes me feel kind of dumb. The manometer that he texted in, that YouTube you were talking about, that's the manometer. It measures the pascals of pressure.
Yes.
So that's on the radon system.
Right.
That makes sense.
Sure.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
We appreciate it. It is a Fix It Show. One final segment coming up. Get your calls in, 855-616-1620.
Stay in touch. You can reach us on the Old National Bank talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Old National Bank. Get old.
Kessler's works with crazy genius diamond cutters around the globe.
But we keep our crazy genius jewelry designers right here at home,
where we can keep them busy.
Monica, I heard we gave our design team a challenge.
Yes, we gathered all 14 of them together and made their eyes sparkle with joy.
What did you say?
I said we wanted each of them to design a pendant that looks and feels like springtime.
Springtime! New life!
14 designers? 14 pendants?
Yes, and we manufactured exactly 8 copies of each of these 14 designer pendants.
There are only 112 of these limited edition pendants in the whole world?
Yep, and they will sell for only $299.
Wow.
One last thing. We're donating all the profits to the charity of the designer's choice.
Being employee-owned gives us the freedom to do fun things.
And then we share those things with you, the people we love.
See the crazy genius designer pendants at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. And by everything, we mean top products by your favorite brands. From Blackstone to Blue Buffalo, Carhartt to Cooper, Milwaukee to Muddy, Scott's to Science Diet, DeWalt, Levi's, Purina, Husqvarna, Goodyear, Rapala, Vortex, and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
It's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Panoramic CBD. Whether you're looking to reduce anxiety, pain, depression, or just need to relax, Panoramic CBD has the best products for everyone's needs. They farm, process, test, and package their own CBD products, hence the slogan from soil to oil. By overseeing every stage of the process, Panoramic CBD eliminates the middleman, ensuring unmatched quality throughout. To offer you the best CBD products at the best prices for you and your pets. Shop local. Shop Wisconsin. From soil to oil, PanoramicCBD.com.
Do you like the safety of a CD, but not the early surrender penalties? Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Armstrong with Steinbrenner Financial and your Dave Ramsey Smart Vestor Pro. Tune into the Dave Ramsey program weeknights at 9 o'clock or visit steinbrennergroup.com to learn more.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey! Summer painting can be brutal. If you're tired of painting year after year, go Rhino. One homeowner said they had a contemporary stucco finish with fading paint that was starting to look like garbage. So they went with Rhino Shield after discovering it's better than paint. Thanks to Rhino Shield, they saw savings on their energy bills. And your home's exterior doesn't matter. Wood, brick, steel, and even vinyl. Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 25% off if you call by the 25th. And it doesn't stop there. Rhino Shield remains backed by a 25-year warranty. Call 262-900-4055 or visit rhinoshieldwis.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Call with your problem. We'll try to solve it. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Final segment here, David. 855-616-1620, the old National Bank talking text line. We do have a text with the term cricket. Do you know what a cricket is? I know what a cricket is. I actually know this one.
Yes.
Hey.
So cricket is something, a roof section that is behind a chimney. Any chimney, masonry, wood frame, vinyl, sided, whatever, any chimney that's wider than 24 inches should really have a cricket behind it. And so it's a roof section that diverts the water around the chimney. So you don't have water and snow just coming down the roof slope and getting stuck behind that chimney.
Also called a saddle.
Saddle. Well, saddle is more about
when two peaks come together.
Two slopes come together.
Okay.
So you sometimes an addition or just the way the roof is built, the house is designed, you have a slope coming down, another slope coming down. It would create this kind of like a crotch where water and snow would collect. So a saddle is it's usually triangular shaped.
Yep.
And it fills in that area and it diverts the water out to the open end between those two roof sections. So two different things, but they both are designed to move water away from areas to collect.
One final one coming in here and must be off this conversation we're having. Hot roof.
Hot roof. So a hot roof becoming much more popular further north and even around here with especially since we have the spray foam, a lot of people using expanding foam insulation, is when you insulate the roof structure. So
the deck?
Yeah, between the rafters.
Oh, okay.
So most people's attics are insulated, the floor of the attic. So you go up in the attic and you can see the roof structure, the trusses and everything. And the hot roof would be where they spray the insulation on the roof deck between the rafters, between the trusses, and insulate that. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you have a truss structure, but if your roof is stick-built, meaning with rafters, you can do it between the rafters. There's 16 inches on center. You insulate that, but now your attic becomes part of the conditioned space of your home. Now you really could use that attic for storage. We were talking about that earlier.
Right.
You wouldn't if it's insulated traditionally, but if you insulate the roof, your attic can become usable storage space. Put a plywood floor down as long as it supports you. But then the other important thing is now you don't have any ventilation in your roof. No ridge vent, no fixed vents, no power vent, and then no vents in the soffit either. Because now you don't want any air coming in
from the outside.
And the reason that's becoming more popular up north is because sometimes that air is so cold outside in the winter that it just really becomes a problem. You know, that it's almost unavoidable to get condensation in your attic. So that And then they make these structural insulated panels. That's a whole other thing. SIPs, structurally insulation panels, where they're a sandwich of plywood or OSB, and in between is insulation. And they just bring them on site, and they just set them up, and that's the structure of your roof, and they're already insulated. So that's a whole another way of building a roof.
Keep getting better. Technology keeps moving forward. All right. Well, thank you, sir. It was a great show.
This was
Enjoy
great.
your sailing today.
Thanks. Enjoy your birthday party.
That red sky's got me a little nervous for you.
Well, usually just means rain. The weather's changing, so just be aware.
All right, but it's supposed to be nice, sunny and warm as long as the rain stays north. If you look at the radar, it all seems to be fading up north. So
I mean, that's probably the weather's close enough. That's why we got that effect off the lake.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just can't imagine not living near this lake. It's just one of the greatest features of this state.
Yes, for sure.
Lake, so.
For sure. All right, we'll see you next week. Coming up next, Rose Gray is back for the Fox World Travel Show.
Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to WTMJ.
This has been the Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
This is Tom Feza. When I have window questions, I contact Scott Klein, owner of J&B Construction, provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958.
I'm Scott Klein. At J&B, we use our experience to educate homeowners about the value new windows, along with proper installation, can have on their home. With J&B, it's not one window fits all. We